Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel, your go-to space for in-depth political commentary and breaking stories from across South Africa. If you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button, like this video, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get into today's story, and it's a fiery one. On Tuesday, political tensions reached boiling point in Parliament when EFF Member of Parliament Sihle Lonzi was forcibly removed from a portfolio committee meeting after raising a question that hit too close to home for the ANC. The issue: allegations surrounding the appointment of the son of ANC National Chairperson Gwede Mantashe to a powerful board position, without public transparency or official announcement. It all unfolded during a meeting of the Portfolio Committee on Higher Education, where Lonzi dared to ask whether the department's Director General was aware that Mantashe's son had been appointed as one of the new chairpersons on the Construction Education and Training Authority, or CETA, board. That question immediately sparked outrage, not from the public, but from ANC MPs in the room. They accused Lonzi of politicizing the session, claiming he was going off topic and out of line. Chairperson Buyambo Mantashe ruled Lonzi out of order and shut down the question altogether. But Lonzi didn't back down. When he refused to withdraw the comment, Parliament security was called in to physically remove him from the meeting. Now let's pause and unpack that. A sitting member of Parliament was thrown out of a committee room, not for using hate speech or disrupting the meeting with slurs or threats, but for asking a question about alleged nepotism and politically connected appointments in a public institution. That moment alone tells us everything we need to know about the fragile state of political accountability in South Africa. The EFF, as expected, came out swinging. In a strongly worded statement, spokesperson Leon Mathews called the removal of Lonzi an act of suppression, saying it proves that the ANC is shielding politically connected individuals from oversight. Lonzi was simply doing his job, she said, and frankly, she's not wrong. Let's be honest here, this isn't just about one appointment. The alleged involvement of Mantashe's son in CETA taps into a broader national crisis, the blurring of lines between public service and political patronage. CETA is one of the sector education and training authorities, CETAs, that are supposed to upskill young South Africans for the construction industry, a sector already plagued by corruption, delayed projects, and unfulfilled job promises. When someone lands a powerful chairperson position in that space, the public deserves to know the selection criteria, the qualifications, and, most importantly, whether the process was fair. But here's the catch: Mantashe's son's appointment hasn't even been officially announced. Yet reports indicate he's already involved, quietly, behind closed doors. Why the secrecy? Why the outrage when a member of parliament asks for clarity? Why the knee-jerk reaction to remove someone demanding transparency? That's what's really on trial here, not Sihle Lonzi's behavior, but the culture of political protectionism that still dominates our state institutions. Opposition parties have since called on the Department of Higher Education and CETA to come clean about the board selection process. But will we get real answers? Or just another round of vague statements and damage control? And let's not forget the backdrop. The ANC is under immense pressure heading into the upcoming general elections. Public trust is dwindling. Scandals are piling up. The phrase Cadre deployment has become synonymous with corruption in many circles. The last thing the ruling party wants is renewed scrutiny over family members of senior officials benefiting from public institutions. But suppressing parliamentary questions is not the way to rebuild public trust. In fact, it does the exact opposite. It adds fuel to the fire and confirms what many South Africans already fear, that the state is run not by the constitution, but by networks of political loyalty. This entire debacle brings up a serious question about the state of oversight in our democracy. Parliament is meant to be a space where elected officials can hold the executive to account, especially when it comes to appointments, tenders, and use of public resources. If even MPs are being silenced for asking uncomfortable questions, what hope does the average citizen have? It also speaks to the power dynamics inside Parliament. ANC MPs, holding the majority in many committees, can effectively block or dismiss any line of inquiry that becomes politically inconvenient. That means issues of transparency, fairness, and meritocracy are often swept under the rug unless someone's willing to risk being dragged out, like Lonzi was. And let's be clear, this isn't just a story of ANC versus EFF. It's about the broader failure of our political system to protect institutional integrity. Whether you support the EFF or not, whether you like Lonzi or think his question was poorly timed, the fact remains, South Africans deserve transparency in how key appointments are made in public institutions. And yes, if someone's child is qualified for a role, they should be allowed to apply. But the public must be able to trust that they weren't simply handed the job because of their surname or their father's connections. Without that trust, the very legitimacy of state institutions begins to crumble. As this story gains traction, we can expect more questions to emerge, not just about this specific appointment, but about how many other politically connected individuals are sitting on boards, leading public entities, or collecting state salaries without the public knowing how they got there. The Department of Higher Education and CETA owe the public full disclosure. Not spin. Not legalese. Just clarity. And South Africans need to ask themselves, if Parliament has become a space where real questions are silenced, where MPs are thrown out for doing their jobs, what kind of democracy are we really living in? That's all for today's breakdown. If you found this content informative, thought-provoking, or just plain outrageous, please make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your views in the comments below. Do you think Sihle Lonzi crossed a line? Or was he simply doing what every MP should be doing, holding power accountable? Thanks for watching, and as always, see you next time.